I just bought my first batch of PolyProps clay craft filler, which is a fairly new product aimed at filling seams in foam work and in 3D prints also. And I've just done this first shoulder as a test, and it's so much cleaner. There's so much less mess. It's more liquidy. I've just got like the tiniest bit in the lid here, but because it's a lot more liquidy than foam clay, I can literally use the smallest amount and then just smooth it along the edges. It gets obviously a much closer finish than the bulkier foam clay, and foam clay is also very sticky, so you've got to like really kind of work with it a little bit, and you've got quite a limited window of adhesion with foam clay. I mean, I love foam clay, don't get me wrong, it's really good for crafting lots of shapes and sculpting lots of different props, but in terms of filling seams, this stuff is just so far superior. I mean, I'll check back in tomorrow to see how it cures, but I mean, I've got quite a lot on here from putting too much on my finger, and I can just smooth it all quite easily and spread it around. You can work with water with it like you can with foam clay to improve spreadability, but here I can use my cleaner fingers, and I don't know if you can get the impression there, but it just wipes really, really clean. So other than obviously the white powdery residue from the fact that the foam clay is white, there's no sort of excess like I would get foam clay build-up around the edges that I'd have to clean up later. Whereas this stuff, I can literally just wipe with my finger as much mess as I make to begin with to get a much cleaner finish. I had a quick look on YouTube for tutorials before I started for how to use this, and I didn't see any, so I thought it might be worthwhile to just jump on here and record a little bit of my first attempt. And again, this is literally the first day I've opened this stuff, first time I worked with it, so I'm sure there'll be little techniques and stuff to get quicker, cleaner finishes, but so far, so good. So morning after, the seam is set and there's almost no residue left. Like this one was particularly messy because I did it first, and you can kind of see the remnants, but the filler is basically faded away to nothing. So I'm going to go and give it a sand to get it even smoother, but like that is pretty smooth for a first pass. So this is the kind of finished result. So this is just with one sanding pass and one coat of paint, just to like illustrate. It's just a kind of quick job, but even with that, you can kind of see how smooth the finish is. It's super low effort compared to sticky foam clay. I recommend it. I mean, foam clay would be better if you had bigger holes to fill. Like this stuff isn't going to fill big gaps in your seams, but as long as you've got pretty nice seams to begin with, pretty close, and you're just filling in those slight gaps, it's a much smoother and better finish.